All right. Mercy, peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our queens and all our kings in the house. Really appreciate. And thank you all very much for joining us on this wonderful deep dive, globally changing lives. As we start off for another wonderful um, day or evening or afternoon or whatever the case may be in your neck of the woods. We just want to, of course, start off with our signature tune, which is none other from Lerato Shadari, wonderful, lovely singing international um, recording artists that we do have in our midst. And we just want to thank each and every one for attending this wonderful meeting. We have a lineup here for everyone, and we do hope that everyone will be great and good, you know, after this presentation of knowledge and wisdom that we will be getting. So, welcome those that are on YouTube. Really appreciate those on the different and varied YouTube channels also. And so, to start, of course, it's our signature tune, In It to Win It.
Is
Did we see the video? No?
No.
Oh,
Start,
mercy.
please.
Huh?
Start the video again, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't know what happened.
We are here, we are on passive, shining bright into the future. We rise high with one heart and revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. Oh,
next up is on passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, wonderful. Finally. Hey. All right, thank you very much. Really appreciate. And thank you all very much for attending this wonderful deep dive globally changing lives webinar. And so at this time, we are going to move into the first presentation, and that is none other than our wonderful King Tim, King Timothy Ferguson Jr. And of course, he is a motivational speaker for many years, actually international motivational speaker. He's a financial specialist and a trusted leader, also a mentor and a personal development coach. And all his information you can get inside of the description there on Deep Dive and the other platforms. So please make welcome as we speak about the health quadrant, for our mindset. And so over to you, King Timothy Ferguson Jr.
Thank you again. Thank you, Dr. Derek. It is an honor, it is a pleasure, and it is an honor to be on this platform. I want to send shout outs to Dr. Ford, who is not on the call today, but basically has asked if I can come again. And again, I want to say thank you for allowing me to come back and to be able to share some more information of what I have for the benefit of the people. Let's get right in. I'm going to get right into this because what I intended to do was for the sake of time, was to break this into two sessions that I'll be talking about because it's a lot of information, and my objective is what I want to share is I want for it to be retained, and I'll get into more detail of what resources I have so we can do that. So you guys, the title of this message is called the Health Quadrant, and you might be asking yourself the question, what do you mean by health quadrant? What is a health quadrant? Well, first of all, we got to ask ourselves the question, what does it mean to be healthy? I want you to ask yourself that question and think, what does it mean to be healthy? Now, for the sake of time, when I ask people that question, most people say, oh, one who's eating right, who exercises, who's in good shape, who takes care of themselves physically. And that's 100% true. These are examples of health. But let me take you back to about now 15 years or so ago when I was writing my book on this subject matter. And as I was writing this, I had a word and I had an encounter with the Most High God who asked me the question. He says to me, what does it mean to be healthy? Now, by the way, before I get into that, I just want to give a little bit more of a detail when it comes to health. I've been involved in health and fitness for over 30 years. And so I've been doing this for a very long time. I've done bodybuilding. I've done personal training. I've worked with people in all type of matters. And in this case, but about 15 years ago, when I would say about 15 years into this, I'm putting together a book that I really wanted to write because I've really felt that the need to really educate people on health. And so, the Most High said to me, says, what does it mean to be healthy? He said, before you think about an ask, he said, I want you to go into my word and I want you to find out what the word health means. And so I looked up the two words, one in Greek and one in Hebrew. One is who is aruka, that's the Hebrew term, which means to be whole or sound and wholesome. The other one is hugiano, which is the Greek term for health, which also means to be well in body, wholesome. Now, these terms, guys, are not subjective terms. These are considered objective terms. And so when we apply this from an objective standpoint, this is what he said to me, guys. It blew my mind. He said, he said, our bodies is a product of being whole. He says, but what does it mean to be whole in me? And again, it's another question that I had to ask and saying, well, school me, Lord. And he says, I gave you 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, and 2 feet. So when you go about your personal physical destination and you trip and fall, what do you do? Now you might be asking yourself this question right now. Let's say, give or take, hey, you don't have any physical issue or anything like that. You just get right back up, right? We just get up. We're not going to think about it. No one's tripping and falling and saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I failed yesterday. I cannot afford to keep having this happen." When you're in good shape, right? Now, imagine you being that very same person with that same confidence going on a destination, having a severed arm and a broken leg, and you're going about your personal destination and you trip and fall. The question is it going to be easy to get back up? Now, I think all of us can say, no, that's not going to be easy. I like to play with my kids when I talk with kids and I actually give them the example and have them try to get back up with 1 arm and 1 leg. It's almost impossible. And so he said to me, he said, metaphorically speaking, your arms are a representation of your physical body and your finances, and your legs are a representation of your spirit and your soul. How many people are trying to fulfill my missions with broken and missing limbs? And honestly, I had to wave my hand because it's just like, I'm broken in these areas too. And so what he was showing me from there was that what it means to be healthy in him is not just healthy in our physical bodies, but looking at the other areas that has a huge impact on the trajectory of our lives. Finances, it's a huge impact. Money is the answer to all things. And so how many things are we limited in doing when we are financially limited? The other matter is identity. Who are you? What is my calling? What is my purpose? Why am I the way that I am? We're all different, and as a result, we're all different because we're all purposed here for different missions. And then the last part is identity. It's character. Character broken into 4 quadrants in it itself: attitude, integrity, courage, and ethics. These are 4 quadrants within itself in character that we all have to develop, and we have to ask ourselves the questions, where do I stand in these areas here? Do I have a really good attitude? Can I improve in this area? Where's my level? Do I have a strong ethic when it comes to working or when it comes to reliability? What this is what he was showing me. It was not something to condemn me, to make me feel bad, but to become self-reflective. And guys, we live in a world today where most people are not self-reflective. How many people do you know point the finger? Okay. Everyone, when they see a problem, they're pointing the finger at someone else. Now you see my hand here, guys. If I'm pointing the finger at you, guess what? There are 3 fingers that are pointing at me. And so the thing that we have to really get to looking at is learning how to become self-reflective, not for the purposes to condemn ourselves, not for the purposes because, to see things wrong, but for the purpose of self-improvement. And most of the things that we see in other people usually, and that we're told of, are about ourselves. So, so when it comes to these matters, these are all areas that a lot of people know little to very little or nothing about as far as knowledge-wise. When it comes to physical health, this is something that you might be able to hear. You get a little bit of information if you are physically, active, you exercise, you read books or so. When it comes to finances, a little bit, have some finances managed well if making good money or so. But who are you? Why do you do the things that you do? Where do you stand when it comes to your character? In this case, in this matter here, and how is that in association to why our lives are the way they are? So here's the first thing what I want to do, guys, because I want to get into the details of these, and this is the reason why I'm breaking this into 2 parts. Is I want to first talk about 2 matters that are very, very significant in each and every one of our lives. If we say, hey, it's not a big deal with me, it's a big deal in somebody that I know, and it can be somebody that I'm close with. And one that is talking about our physical body health and our finances. Okay, these are the arms of the body in this metaphor. And so, where most of us, when we hear about exercise and getting and eating right, it's all surface oriented in terms of This is good food. This is bad food. This is what you need to do. This is what you don't need to do. And, based off of what somebody else says. The question is, why? And that right there is the part that for most of us that we get rattled about. Why? Why am I supposed to eat healthy? Why am I supposed to eat this kind of food versus that? What is the importance of vitamins and minerals? Why am I doing this? I don't know why. I'm just prescribed by my doctor or, my nutritionist that's telling me I need to eat these things, but I'm just doing it just because I know it. What's the problem with this, guys? Because I don't know why, the why behind the what when it comes to my diet and exercise, I don't know what those things are how they are to benefit me. And I don't know what I'm doing that's hurting me. I don't know. But we all know of when we go see the doctor and he says, "Oh, we have this chronic illness. Your kidneys are failing. You're battling with the cancer. Your sugar's high. You're on verge of diabetes." And these things are happening. But here's the caveat that's a problem to me is that nobody educates us from an early age on why we get these things. So guys, I'm just going to I'm going to get down to the very root of some things that I want you guys to understand. And please take notes, guys. Please take notes in here. I'm going to go down to the very thing. When we talk about food, everybody talks about what's good for you to eat, what's bad for you to eat, how it tastes, but nobody talks about this one thing in detail, and it's called a calorie. What is a calorie? Look around. Ask somebody, do you know what a calorie is? 9 times out of 10, if you can go around, ask 10 people what a calorie is, you're going to get 10 different answers. Okay. There's no such thing as subjective truth. That's the first thing that we need to take into consideration. So if everyone has their own idea of what a calorie is, that's a problem right there because no one knows. But I'm here to tell you right now, what is a calorie? Guys, real simple. It's what we call an energy yielding nutrient. Okay, it yields energy. What kind of energy are we talking about? Have you guys ever heard of fat, carbs, and protein? That's it. That's what a calorie is. When you consume something, it is made up of fat, carbohydrates, and protein. Now, what are these energy yielding nutrients, and why does our body consume them? Why do we need them? Guys, here's the part that's really we want to understand with that. Each one of these nutrients equals a certain amount of calories. Write this down. 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories, guys. Okay. 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories, and 1 carbohydrate equals 4 calories. Okay. Now, what did I just say there? Fat equals more than double the amount of a carb and a protein. Now, when we hear fat, we are associated to, it's bad for you, because of, eating, foods that are fat. We associate it to high cholesterol. We associate it to weight gain. We associate it to all of these things that are not beneficial, that are problematic to the body. But guess what, guys? When it comes to the fat that is in that's in what we eat, it is actually considered gold to the body. Let me say that again to you. Fat is considered gold to the body. Why? Because your body looks at these same matters as value just as we do. And like I said, 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. 1 carbohydrate is 4 calories, and 1 protein is 4 calories. Now, you still might be saying, you know what? I'm still trying to wrap my hand around this because, this is definitely, opposite of what I was expecting you were to say. So, guys, I'm going to give you an example here and put it in the chat if you like, of an example when it comes to associating fat, carbs, and protein with gold, bronze, and silver. Let's say let's say I had a job, a business. I'm very wealthy, and rather than paying those that work for me in dollars, in coins, I pay in gold, bronze, and silver. And let's say everybody on this call, I'm giving you guys 2 gold ingots, 4 bronze ingots, and 4 silver ingots as your salary. Okay, that's some very great wealth in this case. But then I say, listen, guys, because I'm very generous of your time and everything that you do for me, when you work overtime, you can take home whichever one of your choice. Okay? Think about it. I work overtime. I get to choose the gold, bronze, or the silver. Which one would you choose? If gold is worth twice as much as the bronze and the silver, we'd all choose the gold, right? who would choose the lesser if they had an option to get the better? Okay. And so, let's say, for example, you say to yourself, you know what? I am wealthy. I've worked all these extra hours. I'm rich, and I want to spend the second half of my life traveling the world. Fine. And you say to me, Tim, you've been great, great employer. I really loved working with you, but I'm ready to move on in my life. And so I'm considering, this is going to be, I'm leaving. I'm going to be hurt. I'm sorry that you're leaving. I really loved you here, but you know what? I'm glad that, I was able to be of service to you so that you can move on to this second stage of life. And, I wish you the best. Don't forget about me in the future. Okay, and so now consider yourself, you're no longer you're no longer getting that salary. Remember that salary, 2 gold, 4 bronze, 4 silver ingot salary. Now you're going about traveling around the world doing everything that you're doing, and now you have to use money in your account. Okay? I don't have money that I'm getting from my job now. Now I have to use what I have stored up, my gold, bronze, and my silver. The question is now, guys, when you start spending your reserves, what are you going to start using for it first? The gold, the bronze, or the silver? What are you going to start using first? What's worth the most, or what's worth the least? Guys, in the 15 plus years that I've been giving this example, I've never heard anybody say, I'm going to spend what's worth the most first. Never. Okay, everybody says I'm either choosing the gold, the bronze, or the silver. Okay, fair enough. Now let's say that you've been going about, you've traveled the world, and you've had an exciting time, and you kind of realize that you spent more money a lot faster than you intentionally did. And you're now in this concern, like, wow, I really overspent out here. I spent way more than I thought I would. I really don't want to start touching this gold. So you know what? I've had fun enough. I'm gonna go back to work. I need to get some reserves, and I need to get some money built back up because this wasn't my plan. And so now you come back to me later on and you say, "Hey Tim, I'm back. You're hiring, and my answer is, oh wow, it's great to see you. I wasn't expecting to see you so soon. Yes, I'm hiring. I would love to bring you back. Here's the only caveat: because you left, I had to hire somebody to replace you. And so as a result, I can't pay you the same salary. Before, where I was giving you 2 gold, 4 bronze, and 4 silver ingots, I can only give you 1 gold, 2 bronze, and 2 silver ingots now. Now, you do get to work, when you work overtime, you get to take on one of your choice. That's all still the same, but the salary is now cut in half. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay. And so what automatically, what are you going to have to do on that, just on that alone? You're going to have to change your lifestyle. Well, you know what? My rent, the way that my living, everything that was based on the way the kind of money that I was earning now has to be adjusted because I don't make as much money anymore. And hey, I came back to work for the reason I don't want to start spending my reserves too soon. So I have to now make an adjustment in my life. I don't want to touch the gold. I'm making an adjustment. So what does all of this mean, guys? When it comes to fat, carbs, and protein, they're just that the body views them just like gold, bronze, and silver. Fat is like gold to the body. So here's a word that we all have heard and are familiar with. It's called metabolism. All right. We all have a metabolism. Our level of metabolism is based on age, is based on our muscle mass. There's a few other matters in the account, but all in all, every single one of us, our body tells us what it needs at a given time. Doesn't require to be a scientist. When you're hungry, your body says, I'm hungry. I need 500 calories. It doesn't care what it is. Okay. It doesn't care what it is. I need 500 calories. You consume 500 calories, you feed your metabolism. But guess what? Here in America, we live in a country where the only thing that's considered satisfied is overeating. So what do? We eat until we're full. Our stomach is stuck out. Oh man, I can barely move. And as a result, I'm full. I don't want anything else. Here's the problem with that, guys. Once you fed your metabolism, anything that your body does not need converts to fat. Okay? What do you mean by that? If you decided to eat a meal and you say, you know what, I want to top it off and I want to eat a banana. A banana is potassium, it's vitamins, minerals, it's good for you, it's fruit. It's 60 calories, all carbohydrates. Okay, all were 4 calories. When you consume it, your body says, I don't need this. So I'm going to convert it into the highest source of energy, fat, as a result, because you give me, it's considered overtime. Just like when you're working and you're working extra and you get to choose, hey, one of your choice. I'm choosing gold. So your body's gonna, whatever your body doesn't metabolize, guys, it converts it into fat. Okay? Doesn't matter what it is. It can be a banana, it can be a health bar. If your body doesn't need it, it has the right to convert it into fat. So now, how does this work in an association to why we have problems when it comes to our weight? Because remember that example of that I gave when you remember the example when you've accumulated all of this extra gold reserve and now you want to feel free and travel the world. That's where most people say, you know what? I've gained all this extra weight. I put on 100 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever that I do not like. And so I'm going to go on a diet. Okay. And me going on a diet is basically saying I'm going to stop eating, or I'm not going to eat as much as I used to. All righty. You have all of these diet plans that are out here that are easy for people to get on and saying, just do this and you'll lose weight in 30 days. And people do this. They lose all the weight. Subway was doing, oh, he lost, 70 pounds. You lose the weight in your diet. Here's the problem with that. When you lose the weight, when you remember, as I gave you the example, when you're out there and about and you have to use your reserves, you don't want to touch the gold. Well, with your body, when you don't give your body what it needs, it doesn't want to utilize the fat. It's going to take the carbs and the protein, any sugar that's stored in your body first, and any protein. When it takes the protein away from you guys, it takes it directly out of our muscles. When it takes it directly out of our muscles, it slows down our metabolism. Okay, so guess what? I lose 50 pounds on this diet that somebody gave me that got me hooked on. And then in this case that I'm now, idolizing and say it's amazing. All righty. And now I decide to say, you know what? I'm ready to go back to treating myself and eating what I want to eat now. Guys, you remember what I said? Going back to work, the salary has changed. This is what happened with our bodies. The same thing. Our metabolism has changed. What used to be, I can metabolize 500 calories at a given time. Now my body can only metabolize 300 calories at a given time. I don't know that, but that is what is going on with my body. And so if I go ahead and I decide to overeat, let's say I eat 700 calories, that's 500 calories that is converted into fat. And get this, guys, 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. So anything that you eat above your caloric intake that's converted into fat, when it calculates to 3,500 calories, you gain a pound of fat. And as long as you're eating in that same capacity, you're going to continue to gain weight. 3,500, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 6 pounds, 10 pounds, 12 pounds, 15, 20, keeping on to where I've gained 50 pounds. Okay. And as I've told you guys, the example of dieting to lose the weight is not the way, because you do not lose fat when you diet. Your body goes into defense mode and says, no, I'm going to preserve the fat and use the carbs and the protein. So then the question is, well, then how do you get rid of the fat? It's called what we call it the overload principle, guys. You ever heard of exercise? Okay. Yeah. A lot of people hear of it. A lot of people hate hearing of it. A lot of people say, man, I try to avoid it all of my life because I just don't want to do it. I don't have time to do it. I don't believe in it. Whatever the case, and it doesn't matter here. But there's only one way to overload and to lose weight, and that is to overload. How does this work? Guys, if you get on the treadmill, if you go for a walk, if you're wearing a calorie watcher or anything, and you burn 500 calories on there, you just burned 500 calories of fat. And that 500 calories, as you're doing this day in and day out, eventually equals 1 pound of fat, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. And this is how you lose the weight. Okay. The same difference. So what am I saying here, guys? When it comes to our health and our diet, the thing we do not want to do is deplete the body of what it needs. It only forces things to go back it only messes things up. give our body what it needs in terms of feeding our metabolism and exercising daily. Okay, how we exercise, how much we exercise, that is going to be based on the goals that we set. You want to lose 30 pounds and you say, oh man, I want to lose 30 pounds in 3 months. Guys, that is a lot of work. That means that you want to you want to spend about you want to lose about you want to be at 1,500 calories a day. That's a lot of work when you put the math to it. Okay, how many calories you'd have to burn in that amount of time. So based on what you are able to afford to do, we may have to push that out sometime. Based on what you say, I can do, 5 days a week, 1,000 calories a day or so. Okay, it's gonna take you about 7 months to do this or 8 months, whatever the case is. And if you want to meet a goal sooner, we got to up this up some. We got to work a little bit harder if we want to meet this. But here's the thing, guys. When we're able to associate what we're doing to the actual cause of when we're going to receive it, it removes probability from the equation. It removes the thought that this just doesn't work for me or my body is just different and I just can't lose weight or anything. Guys, when we put things in place, order is order, and when all things are in proper and perfect order, everything is going to work out. Okay, so the next question that a lot of people may have in this case, saying, you know what, this is some really good information. I really, I really enjoyed it. I really love to use this. I just don't know how to implement this in my day. I have a work day where I get up, I go to work. When I come home, I got to get dinner ready. I got to take care of the kids. How do I implement this in my day? Okay. I said something that a little bit in association to this when it comes to finance that I'll touch on later with finance. But basically, we have to do is we have to establish habits, change the habits in our day. And how we change the habits, guys, is by doing it little by little. I tell those that I've worked with who say they want to get into this and that, and not fall, I say, listen, when you get home from work, what is the first thing that you do when you get home from work? Oh, I get in, I pull up to my driveway, I check my mailbox, and I go inside. Okay, listen, great, awesome. Here's what I'm asking you to do right now. When you get home from work, when you pull up, before you check your mailbox, walk to the end of the block and back. Okay, what is that going to do? The end of the block, that might just be 30 feet. Just do it. Okay, and then come check your mailbox and go in the house. Do that every single day. Every day you come home, you go ahead and you take a quick walk to the end of the block. What's going to happen is you've now have developed this into your day-to-day of getting up and going out for a walk. Guess what? Seasons change. I have a little bit more time on my hand today. You know what? Instead of walking to the end of the block today, I'm going to walk 2 blocks today. I got a little more time. I'm going to walk all the way. I'm going to walk a quarter of a mile and back. I'm going to, but because I've established the discipline of getting a daily walk into my day-to-day, now I'm doing it. And so when seasons change, when I do have a little bit more time, I look and I use that time. Next thing you know, I'm walking a mile every single day. Next thing you know what? I'm going to go in and run in. I'm going to go ahead and get some walking shoes. I'm going to do some speed walking today. It's a gradual process where it's in my day to day. And guess what? What happens is, because life is life, something happens from left field, something with your child, something with your car, something that throws you off, that throws off your daily routine. What happens? You're not able to do it today. Okay, you know what? I really don't have time to do it today. I got to take care of this and there. Fine, that's life. But the one thing that you're going to recognize or feel on that, when that time comes, you're going to feel like your day is off. You're like, man, I just feel out of rhythm, because normally I get up and I go for a walk and, I'm out of rhythm. So you know what happens? The next day when everything is back to normal, I'm getting back out there and I'm walking again. Okay, and it's and the process is more is on and on, and then what you do is we start setting goals. I want to set goals to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever that is, but they're realistic goals. How many calories am I burning? It's not about what I'm eating. How many calories am I burning? The only thing that I have to be consider when it comes to eating is feeding my metabolism. How do I know how to do that? Learning how to listen to your body. And guys, I'm going to wrap up with, after this, learn how to listen to your body. How do we learn how to listen to our body? Anybody ever feel hungry? That is a sign that our body is telling us, I need food. Okay? Your body tells us, I need food. Let's start listening to it. When we listen to it and we're hungry, we eat. But guess what, guys? Rather than eating until we're full, learn to eat until we're satisfied. Okay? What does that look like? Eating till I'm satisfied. Eating until the hunger pains go away. Not till you're full, but I'm not hungry anymore. Okay? But because you're so used to eating till you're full, you feel empty. You feel like you can eat more. So here's the remedy to that, guys. The remedy to that is after you eat, drink 8 ounces of water. Water is 0 calories. It is hydrating. It's for the body. It is a thirst quencher. It will give you that feeling of feeling full after. Not drinking it while you're eating. Drink it after you're eating. Okay. And now you get that full, like, oh man, now I feel full. But guess what? You're full off of drinking 8 ounces of water. It did nothing for you. And as a result, you're now keeping yourself in line of giving my body what it needs while I am also sorry about that. I'm working, working on the excess of losing the weight. And again, when it comes to what I'm eating, the type of foods that I'm eating, that's a bit of a different subject. Okay. Junk food is considered food that just does not have any value to it. A candy bar has no vitamins, minerals. It has nothing that is going to feed my body to give it what it needs to fight against germs and pestilence and all of the things that are constantly attacking my body. That can cause me to become sick. So if I'm going to choose to eat food, I want to eat foods that are going to be more rich in nutritive value for the purposes because now when it comes to my skin, when it comes to my abilities to fight off sickness and disease, all of these things, that's all going to be based on the richness of the type of foods that I'm eating. Okay, guys, I'm going to pause right now in this case here. On this matter here and talking about money, and I want to save some time for a few questions that you guys may have, and we can get back into the next segment, and I'm going to talk about finances. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Mercy. That was never heard that before in that way before. Mercy. That was just awesome. I have one question though. There are a few of us. I know that 90% of the population, well, especially in the eastern side of the western side of the world. I know that majority of persons are obese. But what I'm to the 10% of persons that just want to maybe maintain, just to, stay at the level that they are. How do you view that, or what would be the direction for that? Because I know you mostly talk about how to diet and how to exercise to diet. Is there exercise to stay or to build a little or things like that?
Yes, that's an excellent question, Dr. Derek. Thank you for asking that question. And the answer is yes. The things that I was sharing with you is for the purpose for those who are trying to get themselves to meeting a certain goal. But when it comes for those that we want to maintain, well, it's just doing the same thing for maintenance. You know what? I walk regularly. You know, I eat right and listen to my body, and I eat. I eat healthy foods. I don't overeat. I understand my temple and how it's made, and I want to make the best of it. So as far as just maintaining, it's just basically is the very thing is we're all supposed to listen to our bodies and when it comes to what we're eating and how we're consuming things. The reasons why we have some that are why some of us are dealing with weight problems is because we haven't been listening, and as a result, we've developed these weight issues. But the idea is maintenance, giving my body what it needs at the given times that I need it, and being conscious of the type of food that I eat. It's always good to eat natural food, more so than eating canned food or anything. Not because those foods are unhealthy, but they lack the nutritive value, or some of the nutrients have been wiped out of it for the purposes for long term matter. So if it's so for those who are just maintaining, the focus is I want to make sure that I'm getting vitamins, I'm getting the minerals that I need so that my nails stay, grow correctly, so that my skin, stays solid, so that, it heals solid when, when it comes to sickness and disease, I don't, I don't get sick. I'll say this, being a little transparent. I remember, years ago, a little, sickness will go through the household. It'll come to me, and I might be down for like a day and a half, and I give it to my wife, and she's out for a week. And and all of that has everything to do with is healthiness, the healthiness of the body, what my body can handle because of how I've taken care of it versus hers. And when we understand that what we consume has everything to do with these things, we're able to make better decisions, wiser decisions with just the food that we eat. Period. I hope that answered. Did that answer your question?
Yep. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Thank you very much, King Tim. Really appreciate. And of course, I know Queen First Lady Dr. Benny want to speak something.
Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. It all depends upon your location. Greetings, right?
Yes,
That's what I have to say
wonderful,
first.
wonderful.
Yes, greetings. Oh, yes. Anyway, I just want to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing King Timothy to us, bringing each and everyone here this evening, because when it comes to this particular topic, it's very important. Just like Queen JW, you guys always bring some type of topic that something that we all need. I really appreciate you. Despite the fact that we do have I have just one question, I think. I know that you talk about Quadrant. Now, when it comes to your physical health, so what small, or what should I say, what does a regular exercise and nutrition impact your overall well-being?
Good question. Thanks again. Good question, Dr. Benny. So the answer to that question is to understand that there's different types of exercises for different purposes. Okay. Exercising for the purpose to build your heart is something that we would consider aerobic exercise. Running, jogging, biking, cycling, or even for the purpose of weight gain. I'm sorry, not weight gain, weight loss are going to be something that you would do in the case of in that matter. If you're looking for the purposes to say I want to build muscle or I want to maintain, strength, that's something we call anaerobic exercise. This is where we're lifting weights. Whether you're at a gym or if you have something in your house and you're working on the muscles each physical muscle directly. Everything is a muscle, guys. So even when you're doing aerobic exercising, you're working a muscle. But unlike you're directly working the muscles like your arms, your biceps, or your shoulders, or your chest, you're working your heart muscle. Okay. And so for the purposes of being able to keep, strong, great breathing and having, good breathing techniques, aerobic exercise is always good because it's keeping the heart strong. And so if that's your objective is saying, I want to maintain a strong heart and, so that I'm not winded or, out of breath when I walk up a flight of stairs, the best thing to do is exercising by means of walking, cycling, biking, something that you desire to do for at least 15 to 30 minutes. No more than like 15 to 30 minutes a day. And, yeah, and then like I said, other exercises. If I want to, if I want to work my stomach or my chest, there's exercises to do for that. Let me say one thing though, and I missed this. One of the number one causes of weight gain that we all deal with that we can all notice is excess fat in our midsections. Okay, we all notice that for a lot of us that gain weight, we notice that wow, our stomachs tend to extend beyond the rest of our body, even if the rest of our body is gaining weight. And the reason why, guys, is because the midsection, there's really no such thing as spot reduction or development. But the reason why we gain the abdominal fat around the midsection because that has to do with stress. When we stress, What happens is we go through fight or flight, and your frontal lobe shuts down, and your body produces what you call corticosteroids. Anybody ever heard of cortisone before? You might have heard it, had heard it in the medicine like cortisol or so, but it's a corticosteroid that breaks down the body. And when this is produced, it creates the abdominal fat around our midsections. And so this is why we get that that excess weight in our midsection beyond every elsewhere. How we're able to reduce stress, guys, is one, understanding that, and the best way to relieve stress is what we call rhythmic breathing. This is something that is, if I'm feeling myself getting, take a stop, start taking deep breaths in rhythmic sessions. Now, that might be boring to you guys. Some people are like, oh man, I don't want to sit there and do that. Our God is an awesome God. And so the way he's created things in this matter is natural. When you sing praises, you're automatically rhythmic breathing. This is how you relieve stress. And I'll say this and then I'll digress. How many of us gone to a church service where we go to the church, we miss praise and worship, and we listen to the message, and the message just doesn't stick. We're just hearing it, just kind of like, yeah, I'm nothing. Versus the time we go to church and we're there for praise and worship, and we hear the message, and it's just like, oh my God, this is what I needed to hear. It's not that the message was bad or good, it was the state of mind. When your frontal lobe is shut down, you're in binary thinking. You can't think coherently. So when we take the time to sing praise and worship, our coherence returns to our back to a state of coherence, to where now we're seeing things, we're hearing things, and now we are, oh, I got it, I get it, and we're back in that state of producing anabolic hormones that build up the body. And so, that right there is basically just a little nugget I wanted to, I meant to add as well.
Okay. Thank you so much. I know you said something about, you stated that we have to listen to our body. So are you saying, I remember once when since I like to eat, right? But one day I told our Heavenly Father, I said, Father, because I want to lose weight, I wonder when I eat, if you know that I'm getting full, just let my body, let me feel some pain so that I'll stop, so that I'll stop eating. It happens. I'm not lying. It happens, and I stop. To me. So when you talk about uh, we should listen to our body, what does that mean?
Good question again. Good question again. The first sign that we listen to, that we recognize from our body is hunger pains. Stomach's hurting, I'm hungry. That's a sign that our body is in need. When we're eating, we want to be mindful while we're eating, okay, the hunger pains are going away. I don't feel hungry anymore. Okay. This is how I'm listening to my body. I don't feel hungry anymore. I'm satisfied. And so when I'm satisfied, I've given my body what it needs. Okay. Now, because you're used to eating to where you're full, the satisfaction is you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel like, man, I can eat more, but in this matter, I want to eat more. I can eat more, but you don't need to eat more. And so the way to discipline yourself so that you do not eat more is to say, at that time, I'm going to drink 8 to 12 ounces of water. And that's going to give me that satiety feeling of being full like I normally have when I regularly eat. And it's a habit. As you do it more and more, you get into the habit of it, you get into the feel of it, it gets easier and easier over time.
Thank you. And you talk about health quadrant, uh, which I found out that the Bible does not really define it, but it rather, what the Bible does is that it emphasizes of the importance of maintaining the balance of the holistic approach to your health, which it also encourage you, well, let me say the believers, right, to care for their bodies, their mind, their spirit. Now, ensuring that each aspect of their well-being is nurtured, right? And then the Bible teaching us on the health that are rooted in the belief of God, the way God designed you and I, the human body, flourishing, which includes the physical, the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, and the social health, which that was why I did ask you that question for the physical. With the health, I mean, when you talk about this exercise, at a certain age, I know I used to run, right? Trying to see if I could lose the weight. But one day, anyway, I fell down. So at my age now, I cannot run. I can just jog. But I notice I see younger kids now running. But I heard that it's better just for me to walk around, because when I hurt my leg, I went to the doctor. The doctor told me to stop running at my age. So I don't know. I'm in my 50s. All right. So I don't know if it is true that I should stop running, but just walking.
Another great question, Dr. Benny, and what the doctor said is 100% true. You never want to do anything that is going to create further detriment to your body for the purpose of something else. So, and yes, as we age, like I said, our metabolism slows down. So gets slower, so we lose muscle. Because we're losing muscle, what the muscle that surrounds our bones, begins to thin out. So we start to feel more of pains in our knees or in our joints or in our back and doing things. And yes, we can reverse those things through strength training for the most part. But being mindful of how our body's adjusting and changing, we have to listen to that and make adjustments to that. And so, other than walking or running, other ways that you can work the heart muscle with is get biking is something that's good. What's it called? Ellipticals. These are good. Something that you can do, because again, the objective is working the heart muscle, not working the arms and the legs. And so, and usually what a doctor can do, or any type of therapist can do, is they can show you what you can do that is not going to hinder your physical body in any case when you're trying to fulfill your goals.
Okay, let me stop now, even though I have more, but I'll wait. Next time. I actually, I would say extraordinary mindset. Thank you so much for coming, and we look forward hearing from you next week.
Thank you. Thank you.
King Dr.
All
Derek,
right.
thank you so much.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. And I see another hand. Go ahead, Queen Jacqueline Warner.
Hi, good evening. Good evening to everyone. Glad to be here. Thank you for this amazing platform, Dr. Derrick. Thank you for your questions, First Lady of Unpassive, Queen Dr. Ben. Amazing, amazing. I just want to say, awesome presentation, King Timothy. It's awesome to talk about our health. I just was wondering, when you said you use 500 calories as an example, that if the body needs it and we do anything after that, it is stored as fat, which is correct. But how do they go about choosing the calories? Because there's good and bad in everything. And even though we're saying, we can eat the carbs and we can eat the protein and so forth, I think you still have to be mindful of what you put in your body. You just can't put anything in there and still expect to be a healthy choice. So you have to make healthy choices. So it's not that you could just put, the body need 500 calories and you just go and get the 500 calories and you take it. It sounds simple, but I don't think it's that simple, because we still have to be mindful of what we put in our bodies. And then you talk about listening to the body. I think the best way we should listen to our body is saying, we have to know when our body is saying it's hungry. Some of us eat because it smells good. Oh my God, they pass by. Oh, that smells good. Let's go get a bite to eat. And that's not listening to your body. That's making your own assumption that you're not that you're really hungry. It smells good. Let me go and eat. So I think those are things we should be mindful of before we put anything in our mouths.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement with you, Sister Jacqueline, and yes, I wasn't saying anything is just that simple. I was basically saying it on the sense of understanding how weight gain works, that it's based on calories. Basically, too much of anything is not a good thing, except for God Himself. And so,
Yep.
yes, what we eat is very, very important, how much we consume of it, because the body is a system. And think of any system that how it works, you can't overload it. And
Yep.
it's going to be a problem. If you don't give it everything it needs, it's going to cause a problem. So everything has to work in accordance. So yes, you know, when it comes to eating food that is understanding like sugar, you have different forms of sugar. They break down into blood sugar, some in a matter of seconds, some in a matter of minutes, hours. And these are the things that you want to understand to where that relates to blood sugar levels. And so, but yet that has nothing to do with weight gains
Wait,
per
wait.
se. That's more so than the matter of the nutrient in and of itself. Same with
Okay.
the fat and the protein. You have good fat, you have bad fats in an association. So these are also things that are very important as well. And yes, this is the last, yeah, what you were, saying, and then, and the matter is, I'm sorry, the last part you had just mentioned, what was the last part
Listening
you
to
just
the body. Yeah.
listening to the body, correct. Yes, that is, it requires discipline. This is a discipline matter that we all have to train ourselves on because yes, it smells good. Oh, I want to eat it. Somebody offers me something. Oh, I want to eat it. Oh, sure, yes. Sometimes I want to, well, I don't want to sound mean and say no, and so I take it anyway. And we have to have the discipline to say, sure, I'll take it. I'll eat it later on.
Yeah.
Or, not right now. And learning and developing that discipline to say no, that right there is also a part of the practice that you're getting in the process.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Awesome presentation.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Go ahead, First Lady.
Yes, please. Sometimes I say I don't want to eat, but sometimes I'm really in pain, right? I mean, because if I don't eat, even just a bite, I will really have headache. It happens. So, in your case, how will you feel if you are in pain because you are hungry?
So well that these are gonna be signs that you're gonna have when you're hungry. You ever heard of fasting? When
Yeah,
we
I have done that.
Oh yeah. So when you fast, for your body, you're gonna go through hunger pains, you're gonna get headaches, you're gonna get things, and then it's a matter of not giving your body what it needs. But here's the thing about fasting, and that's it, is that your body goes through a state of ketosis. And so it starts to produce ketone bodies that enables you to be able to go about going by your day without passing out because you're not eating. And so, but yes, in the accounts when you're hungry, if your head is hurting, that means that you basically have diminished giving the body what it needs for too long. It's almost like, hey, I need to drink water and I haven't drank water in days and I'm dehydrated. And this biggest sign is going to show is when it's hot outside and I'm going out walking, I'm going to pass out. So, it's like I said with Sister Jacqueline, everything we have to do is in order, is in terms of what we consume is at certain levels. And we want to consume things at a certain level for things to stay regular. So if I'm, if I'm if I'm in the matter where I'm hurting, I'm depleted, okay, and I need to consume what I need to consume. But here's the thing: even when you're depleted and you need to consume, your body may say, "I only need maybe 700 calories now, not 2,500 calories." Okay, because it can only consume so much at a certain time, and so that you still listen to your body until you're satisfied, the headache goes away, and then it's matter. But like I said, these are habit forming matters that you're able to do, and I try to make them in a way where it's easy to form these habits.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your answer. And you are on point. Let's say if I was supposed to eat like 2,000 calories because I was really in pain, as soon as I start eating, within a second, I'm done because I'm full. I have done that. I've tried. You are 100%. I would say excellent, fantastic presentation. I appreciate you and thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Benny.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. And all right, just checking to see if there's any other questions anywhere. All right, beautiful. And so moving right along to our cyber security presentation. And of course, that is done by our own First Lady, Queen Dr. Benny. Cybersecurity stay protected in 2025 as we are still alive. And from once you're still alive, most likely you are on the World Wide Web. All right. I am quite possible. I mean, I'm quite very sure that everyone here on this webinar, whether you're on YouTube or you're here on Zoom, you are definitely on the World Wide Web because that's the only way you will access this presentation. All right. And from once you are on the World Wide Web, then of course you're going to need cyber security. And so our one and only First Lady Queen Dr. Benny has been a cybersecurity specialist. She does have her doctorate in that field, or you might say in that line of business for many years now. And she has been a specialist. She is an entrepreneur. She is also a coach, a life coach, and she has been doing cybersecurity for many years, many years. And so, without any further ado, we are going to have for you First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek, for giving me this opportunity to talk about cybersecurity. And a lot of people, they don't even know, let me say, when I started IT, which is information technology, I started this in 1992. So it means I have been in for some time, right? This topic today is going to be what is cybersecurity and the truth about online safety, right? I'm just going to give you an overview, and before I can go and utilize my PowerPoint. As you all know, the reason why some of us utilizes PowerPoint presentation is just like if you have a business, right? You have an application that you want to introduce into this world. You will just go, let me say, from one government, a federal government or state government or federal, state government or financial institution, but you want to introduce this application. What you have to do is to insert it into a PowerPoint presentation, because a lot of people in this world, they want to see visual. I'm just trying to explain so that people should know why myself, King Dr. Derek, and the rest, we use PowerPoint presentation. So cybersecurity works like a multi-layer stronghold, right? The firewalls act as what? An outer gate. Antivirus software is the guide, right? Patrolling inside. And the encryption, right? And the encryption is like a lock that only the right key can open, right? So it is just like cities that will invest in CCTV. So what does that mean, or what does CCTV stand for? Close secured television. So it refers to a private video, a surveillance, right, system that would transmit the foot, like the foot stage as you're walking, right? Walking around to a specific monitors rather than broadcasting it publicly. So CCTV is commonly used to like security and monitoring for the security, like physical security, right? They are monitoring what is happening inside or within and outside. Okay? So, and the police, when they utilize the CCTV for safety, as well as for companies and individuals now, a lot of them, they will invest in the cybersecurity tools and for professionals in order to protect what? They'll protect your data and the new currency of the trust. Now, when it comes to cybersecurity itself, it refers to the practice of protecting the computer system, right? It protects the computer system. It also protects the network, as King Dr. Derek said, right? It protects the network and the data. The data, when I talk about data, is like information, right? The information, like sometimes we talk, somebody will write. That is information right there. Okay, data from unauthorized access and the cyber attacks, as well as, you have thieves out there, right? And sometimes we talk about damages. So in today digital world, where sensitive information is constantly shared, a lot of information are being shared out there, right? They're constantly shared and they are stored online. So cybersecurity is essential to individuals like you and I, as well as businesses and the government. If you don't mind, I am going to share my screen for you all to know what is going on when it comes to online safety and cybersecurity. Thank you so much. So cybersecurity uses a specialized tool and practice that would dictate and remove what? Harmful software, with helping you spot and avoid online scam. As you all know, there are a lot of scammers out there. Your personal information, your bank detail, the files, and online activities, it remains safe from theft, damages, and misuse. Let me see if I can make it big. Okay. So how cybersecurity works in your life, everyday life. Now, your daily activities rely heavily on cybersecurity running in the background. Technology powers everything from email, right, and smartphone communication to navigation system, online shopping, and medical records. Cybersecurity works best when three complementary elements combine. What? The people, process, and technology. Users like you and I should be aware of the basic data protection principles, such as creating strong password. As you all know, I have always been talking about the strong password, right? Being cautious of suspicious email attachment. We have talked about that. And regular backing up your data. When I'm talking about backing up your data, there are a lot of, we do have, some of those tech pro guys, right? One of them, I think he is a database administrator. Being that database administrator, so he back up all the data that day. We do have full backup, incremental backup. So with that full backup, I think he will back up the database when everybody is gone, right? Which is really good, so that should, in case there is a problem, he will go back, because there is some information that he has to save, like the contingency plan, right? With that contingency plan, you are saving things now, or you are planning for unforeseen circumstances. When you step out of the house, sometimes you don't know what will really happen to you. So it's the same thing when it comes to our data, right? A good cybersecurity habit will give you and I your private data and a safe online experience in all your digital interaction. So why is cybersecurity important? I know it is, okay? And no one can say cybersecurity is not important. So digital theft now occurs more frequently than physical theft, underscoring the need for reliable security measures. Yes, it is one of the most serious economic and national security challenges a lot of countries are facing today. Now, protecting your personal and business data, you have bad cybersecurity leads to several problems. Data breaches that will expose what? Your private information. When it exposes your private information, let me say about your company, you know that let me say the CEO will be in trouble, right? So we do have heavy financial losses and legal penalties, as well as damages to your reputation. And when you damage your reputation, what happened? Customers will not trust your company at all, right? So protecting personal and business data. Companies see cybersecurity as what? A crucial part of managing risk, especially cyber risk. Now, a breach can result in what? A regulatory fines, the system downtime, legal issues, and long-term damage to a company's reputation. So how can cyber attack affect the society? Cyber attacks go beyond just the financial losses or what? The data breaches. Now, they sometimes also break people. They break people and they make them not to trust anyone. Now, always be anxious and affect them mentally. Now, it impacts the society in many ways. Public safety risk, which it trains and what? The metro system to stop functioning, creating panic among commuters. Now, healthcare disruption. During the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people died, right? Hospitals had to rely on what? Emergency power, which risk what? Compromising the patient's life. Now we talk about economic losses. Power dependent of the businesses, they will suffer significantly due to what? The health of operation. Now, trust and deficit. The public lost trust in the safety of digital what? Infrastructure. In fact, as you know, there are a lot of cybersecurity, different type of cybersecurity. I will just name them not to really explain what it is all about, because next time I will. Modern organizations nowadays must deal with cyber threat that are continually evolving. And what? It requires what? Effective defense strategy. So a sound cybersecurity system needs you now to understand the threat and set up the right defenses. Remember, we talk about phishing and social engineering, right? And phishing and social, and then we talk about ransomware as well as malware. With the ransomware attacks, it happens every 14 seconds. That's why it is stated. Now, these attacks now, they cost businesses hefty amount of money each year because they're asking for money. They need money, right? So attackers, they will employ a step 2 approach. They will first of all encrypt files or lock the devices. Then what do? When they lock the devices, they ask for money. And if you don't provide the money, you will suffer. Your company will suffer. Another thing we'll talk about, insider threat. And I know I have talked about this in insider threat. Something occur within us. An insider threat occur within companies, right? So an individual, when we talk about the insider threat, that's an individual, somebody inside this company or any company within, right? That individual, that person is legit, right? The person knows everything about your company, everything about the system. Now, the person now will go and try to steal something that you will not know that is that particular individual. So it is stated here that individuals with legitimate system access can pose an insider threat. So this threat now will manifest in various ways, such as malicious insider threat, who can intentionally, carelessly make some certain mistakes, which it will compromise the insider account. Zero trust architecture. We have talked about that as well. But when it comes to the zero trust, it does eliminate traditional castle and vote. So it creates what? The system that will trust no one. That's a zero trust. As for me, I know I don't trust a lot of people. I don't. Then we do have this multi-factor authentication, which it will require you and I, the user now, to prove their identity in multiple ways, right? So you need something that you know. What do you know? You know your password. Something that you have is your device. Something that you are is biometrics, like fingerprints, right? Now, this layer of security works really well. Your organization should focus on adding phishing resistance for multi-factor authentication. The most important thing, we do have like security awareness training. Any company, the CEO, or I would say human resource, they will train newer individual people like me, if I'm new, into that particular company. So when it comes to this security awareness training, the human errors causes many security problems. So good training program matters a lot within the company. Your team needs to learn how to identify threat, how to recognize the vulnerability, and adhere to security best practice. Some of the best practice is being given, or the company that has written this, we have NIST, which is NIST, the National Institute of Standard and Technology, FISMA mandate NIST to write a lot of policies and to just hand it over to the federal government, the state government, and financial institution as well, and the school system. When you write these policies and procedures, it's for each and everyone to know what is happening in this world. So the best training utilizes various format, the real life scenario, and the practice of that exercise, such as phishing threat, as I keep talking about phishing threat, right? An attachment, an email can be sent to you, right? When the email is sent to you with an attached copy, that particular hacker or intruder is asking you to please click on that attachment. Now, if you click on that attachment, do you know who sent it to you? Why are you clicking? I don't think you should do that, right? Because when you do that, you are infecting your computer as well. The future threat in cybersecurity, right? In 2025. So there are a lot of organizations, there are certain things that organization must do. They have to stay ahead of the sophisticated threat as cybersecurity changes faster. Things are happening. Now we talk about the artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence and machine learning and the threat dictation. Now, what it does, it continues to reshape the threat dictation by analyzing huge data set at unprecedented speed. machine learning algorithm will identify the suspicious threat and then malicious code now and signatures with the behavioral abnormalities that will indicate the potential breaches. We talk again about that zero trust, right? I don't trust anybody. So a successful zero trust setup needs like a continuous authentication and authorization, right? Least privilege access control and immediate monitoring and analytics. So what are the myths in this? Cybersecurity misconception create what? Dangerous security gaps that criminals, cyber criminals, they're happy to exploit, right? We do have, let me just say 4 common myths for you to understand a little bit. Only one big companies are target. Small companies, small businesses, cyber attacks can be devastating due to what? Increase in attacks, automation, and supply chain attacks against their IT services providers. So the biggest problem is that many small businesses think they are too small to notice or don't have data worth stealing. No, 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 no. If you have your small business, don't worry, you are not too small. Just be careful of what is going on in this world. We do have antivirus. It's enough. That's what the myth is. So advanced evasion of techniques such as obfuscation, it helped the malware to evade traditional signature based upon the dictation, where fileless malware will leave no footprint for antivirus software to scan. So no single virus protection can be 100%. No, 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 no. People may think that way. No, it is not. Now, at finding and removing all the malware, it's not. So that's why you need what? Detailed security measures in place, right? We talk about the strong password, right? A foolproof. So when it comes to multi-factor authentication, it adds what? Important, even though I say vital, right? Important security layers by needing multiple verification, something you know. So if you don't have a PIN, let me tell you guys, I applied for a credit card. So when the credit card came, I already have another credit card with the same company. So they gave me another credit card. So they were asking me for my 4-digit PIN. You know, I thought they wanted me to give a new PIN. So when I gave that new PIN, you know, since it is artificial intelligence dealing with us now, not human being, do you know that they said I should wait for a customer representative to communicate with me because I made a mistake? So when the customer representative came, they asked me, how much is the amount that was given to me with the credit card? I told that individual. And then they asked me for my full name. I gave that person. And then they asked me for, you know, like the 3-digit code. I gave it to them. They want to know whether I am that person, that particular individual. With the amount that I told them, then they knew that I was the one. That is why multi-factor authentication is really good. So cybersecurity is only IT's job. Hackers often exploit human nature through social engineering instead of the technical vulnerability. Now, this makes employees aware of the importance. Organizations must encourage a security-conscious culture where everyone understands their role in what? Protecting against sophisticated threat. So in conclusion, as you all know, cybersecurity is no longer just a domain of the information technology team, whether you are your own business leader, developer, educator, or student. Now, understanding how the digital threat works and how to prevent them is very important. So the best defense is what? A well-informed mind. Okay, as you all know, this is where I got my information from, and some came from my head. Thank you all for listening. Appreciate you all. Online security, the safety. Thank you, King Dr. Derek. Yes, Queen JW. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Awesome, awesome. Go ahead, Queen Jacqueline Warner.
Yes, 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 yes. You are the queen of cybersecurity. Thank you so much for educating us every Tuesday regarding cybersecurity, not only for business, but for our personal lives. You know, and we have to take it so serious. We can't have that like the big companies think, well, like some of the companies think, well, it only happened to big companies, but some of us think like it might not happen to us. But we don't have to wait until it happened to us. And that's where Dr. Benny comes in to educate us and keep us abreast. And you really do, because it bring awareness, and you help us to apply it when it comes to protecting our identity and our data on the computer. So thank you so much. We appreciate you so much, and we love you.
Thank you so much, Queen JW. Just to
You're
let you know,
welcome.
I know King Dr. Derek always want me to do this. And now that our company is back, now, because it is back, right? It's unfortunate that our affiliates are not here. The reason is because of hacking. The networking, the hackers are out there. They are fooling a lot of people. And guess who they are targeting? Our elderlies and the younger kids. So that is why, again, when it comes to this phishing, I keep emphasizing that when an email is being sent to you, when an attached copy, do you know who that person is? Why are you clicking? Why? Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. We love that you come here all the time and give us some guidance. And you know, the hackers, they are very smart in the way that they cannot leave any file open. Now, what I'm seeing is that they send you text message or email saying that you win something. Congratulations, you are a winner. Claim. You have 24 hours, 48 hours to claim your gift. And when you are going to claim, they ask you so many things. You have to fill up application before you get your gifts. So we need to be careful about that too. They are very, very smart. And they won't sleep. Until they get you, they won't sleep. So don't feel like we are not listening. Oh, you don't have 10,000 people here to listen. Now, the few people who are listening, they will talk to others. In the family, you don't know who is next to who listening. Maybe I have 10 people around me listening, you don't know. you feel like you're talking to one person who is showing, the name is showing or the face is showing. So keep doing the good thing and you will be blessed as your name. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Queen Dr. Nadu. I thank you for your support and your encouragement, as well as Queen JW. Thank you for your love, your encouragement, and your support, as well as your dedication towards this company. I appreciate you all. Cybersecurity. Every company needs cybersecurity. Thank you.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Benny. Well, yes, I got an email yesterday that I have 50 million. So I am a millionaire, just that I'm not going to claim it. Right? But yes, I have a dead grand aunt, and I have the power to the estate, and and it's 50 million. 50 million. So I'm to contact this person in order to claim that 50 million from the estate that was willed to me. So I'm a millionaire, just that I'm not going to claim it. Oh yeah, those things come like every week. Every week. All right. Don't worry about those things, man. Just delete them, put them in your spam folder and leave them alone. You see, the thing about it is that people are curious. And sometimes curiosity kills the cat. So, if you just ignore them, because I know I don't have no dead grandaunt. Well, our cousin died the other day, but I don't have any dead grandaunt. I don't even have any grandaunt that I know of, really and truly. So anyway, it happens. So don't worry about those things, man. Yeah, leave them alone. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. It was awesome presentation, as always. And if you have not watched those in the past, please to go ahead and watch, because they cover a numerous amount of varied areas, which is very important. And so, at this time, continue to inspire and educate. Okay. All right. So just a lot of praises on YouTube and in the chat. A lot of praises. All right. So anyway, going to ask King Timothy Ferguson to just give us his closing at this time. Over to you, King Tim.
Thank you. Great message, by the way, Dr. Benny. Very powerful, very informative. We all need it. Very informative. Great message as well. My closing remarks, I want to say is um, basically, when it comes to taking care of our temple, it is something that it is essential for each and every one of us to do, and it's also something that we all can do. The Bible says God never gives you more than you can handle, and what we have, and what when it comes to taking care of ourselves, these are all things within what we can handle. And even if we say, well, I don't have the discipline, or I don't have the knowledge or the understanding of this, consider that the handling isn't in the matter, that he also provides those to you who can help you in that matter. And so there's nothing that is too big for him. There's nothing too big that you can that you can do. Um, Dr. Derek has my information in the chat room and on YouTube as well. If anybody also has any additional questions on any matters in any case, feel free to contact me to where I can share that information with you. Guys, I want you to listen. There's no such thing as a dumb question when it comes to these matters and taking care of our lives. So please feel free to reach out, and we can go from there. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed evening. Thank you again, Dr. Derek.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, King Tim. And of course, part 2, just for you, part 2 will be on this Thursday. Not next Tuesday, but this Thursday. We will have part 2, but that will be in the main presentation, because as you know, on Thursday, Queen Jacqueline Warner is doing the mindset. So please invite for the wonderful double attack of health. And without health, there is no wealth. All right. So beautiful. Thank you very much, King Tim. Really, really appreciate you. Over to you now, Queen Dr. Benny, for your closing.
Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek. So the truth about online safety is that no system is 100%. No system is 100% secure. Threats such as phishing, ransomware, identity theft, and data breaches, they will continue to evolve. Now, making cybersecurity a continuous process of risk management. It also requires the combination of technology, strong policies, and users' awareness. So cybersecurity is not just the responsibility of information technology expert. What it does is that it involves everyone who uses a digital tool. Now, simple steps like using the strong password, enabling the multi-factor authentication, and staying cautious of suspicious email, as we keep talking about that, right? Suspicious email, which it plays a major role in strengthening the online security. Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Really appreciate. All right. So just want to thank those on YouTube. Thank you all very much for joining us on yet another Tuesday on Deep Dive, Globally Changing Lives. Remember, rest of the week, you have weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That is the Yvonne duo, Queen Dr. Yvonne and Queen Yvonne Finn. On Thursday morning, it's All Passion Global. That will be 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And Thursday again, in the evening, it would be Deep Dive once again. And as I said, King Tim will be presenting once again. All right. And so we just want to also elaborate on Sunday, that Sunday Dream Team. And of course, we will be here again on Sunday. So thank you all very much. Really appreciate. And please, if you are not good, please be cheerful. But it would be better if you are good, and stay good, and blessings to each and every one as we transition. And for those who are on YouTube, if you want, those who can, come over into the Zoom, where you will have the after party with Queen Dr. Nadu, just for you. So take care, those on YouTube, and we will see you on Thursday. All being well. Take care. Over to you, Queen Dr. Nadu.
Thank you. Yes, I'm ready. Let's go.